This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. This is Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, calling all the action for today's event. We are here at Wolf Creek Golf Club. It's located in Mesquite, Nevada. Frank, if I didn't know that it was Mesquite, Nevada, I think we landed on the moon and they built the golf course here. This is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, 100 years ago, you couldn't build a golf course like this here. Obviously, all the equipment needed, but in the end, it's wonderful. It's an absolute playground for anyone that sort of loves to play the game. It is desert golf, obviously because of the terrain, but the green oasis that cuts in between is each hole. It just sort of gives you a totally different experience because you keep having to remind yourself you are smack bang in the middle of the desert.
-2 early in the round. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you've got a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one.
That was a solid strike and a good result. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Nice, solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong. This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Just a couple of feet. 3 under on the day. Here at the fourth, 383 yards from the back tee. It's a dogleg right, but Frank, looking at all of those bunkers, you could really make a mess of this hole if you stray.
You can. That's why you've got to simplify it. Just something there that's going to find the fairway. Even like 3-wood and a wedge, that's really all this hole's going to require. Avoid the canyons on the left and in the desert, as well as just, I don't know how many bunkers there is on the right side. So a little bit of fairway up the left, find that there, and really, you should be looking at a birdie putt.
The second shot now to the par 4. Good-looking shot right here. And he's made the green. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McElroy does. Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the fourth. Now at -2 for the day. Down to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that left, down that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels.
Now his third, staring right at the green. On the green in regulation.
It's no snap, though. Now putt for par.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the Billy Goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes once again are apparent here at the 6th. It is a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go. We all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
That's well played. Places it about 10 feet out for birdie. Collects another birdie with that stroke and goes to 2 under. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and it's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and it's going to make that second shot that much.
Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. Par 3/8, 248 yards down to the green. What a hole.
Yeah, maybe you put your two hands together, make a little prayer. You might make two, but make 3 here and run to the next tee. This is it's just a gorgeous par 3. Yeah, but it is tough. Every bit as tough as what it is pretty, as a matter of fact.
That is tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
And he's made it onto the green now. Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. And this will be a 5-foot putt here.
You'd like that one again.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Well, you hate to see that after that amazing birdie run, the double bogey. Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Either that, shorter hitter, just play to that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front 9.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in your Rich.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, that's a bogey. Starting to go the wrong way now, Frank.
If you keep driving 100 miles an hour, accidents are going to happen.
Beginning the back 9 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th hole.
Got to be careful here, Rich. That desert ridge on that right side, it sort of makes that fairway look smaller than exactly what it is. This fairway is about the same width as all the others, so just convince yourself that. Good drive down here is going to give you a second shot, a little bit uphill, into a green that sort of slopes away on about a 45-degree angle.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Could really use this one. It's for birdie. So in the red figures at 1 under. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Did the job right there. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Not close, but not bad either. That one's about 25 feet away. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
That's a birdie for McElroy. He's just so explosive. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what? I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Drivable par 4. Not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Settles in over the putt. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 birdies for the round. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone because you want to take some pictures here. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers. 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see. The other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions.
Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close, and just a great shot.
Now to the par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of the postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
Wow, almost fell within just a few inches of dropping. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 8th hole seems to have taken him out of his game.
I'm loving that balance.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Let's see what McElroy does now with his second. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward, and I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
Good chance at one. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McElroy does. Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Now a 7-footer.
Hole's 4 1/4 inches. Could have done with one slightly bigger.
So they'll tap in. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250-yard mark, and, of course, you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and, well, they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or a 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse. Now, as they say, 300-yard drive, one shot. Miss a short one, also one shot.
That's painful. There you go, 68 for the day. Frank, just some great golf here today.
Yeah, that's a round to remember. Not often you play that well and you feel like you were head and shoulders above the rest of the field.
What a